Hi, I've been getting some questions on how OFDMA features like MRU and DRU are doing as we journey from Wi-Fi 6 to 7 to 8. And I thought I'll make a short video and then tie it to some of the demos in events coming up. My name is Shrikant and I'm with NanoCell Networks. So OFDMA was brought into Wi-Fi in Wi-Fi 6 era with a lot of fanfare. This does not mean that our plain SU OFDM was abandoned. No, it still remains, in my opinion, as the main technology. But to the SU OFDM, where we divided the bandwidth, the minimum being 20 megahertz, into tones or subcarriers, we basically took those tones and grouped them into what are called as RUs, and the access point could allocate different RUs to different users both on the downlink and the uplink. This was supposed to address some high density problems, especially with short frames and so on. Things have been a little slow, in my opinion, to get going on the real life front, though everybody supports. I think there are challenges with respect to getting them to use it to solve some problems in real life conditions. Some details about the RUs, and I've jumped to Wi-Fi 7.11be because there's a cleanup of the what you call tone plan, is how you divide the bandwidth into various size RUs. The minimum size remains at 26 tones, approximately 2 megahertz, but you also have other options like 52, 106, and so on and so forth. And Wi-Fi 7.11be cleaned up this as compared to what was available in Wi-Fi 6 by making the tone plan more suitable for preamble puncturing, also avoiding problems in the DC area, and so on and so forth. And remember that Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 7 OFDMA are not exactly the same. So you can see the challenges as we mix clients in a network in a real life deployment. So what else did Wi-Fi 7 do other than these cleanup in the tone plan? So one of the features that they brought into play was MRU. The original RUs in Wi-Fi 6, which still remain an option in Wi-Fi 7, were contiguous. So remember that they were basically all bunched together, whatever be their size. Okay. But now the MRUs, seeing a real life problem where only one RU was allocatable to a user in Wi-Fi 6, they said, why not allow multiple RUs, simply because that will help us avoid situations where something went blank or unused. So combination of more than one RUs is possible in Wi-Fi 7, and that is why it's called multiple RU or MRU. There are a variety of rules, what tones you can combine, in which positions, smaller tone sizes only with smaller tones, larger tones with larger tones, variety of rules and a whole list of tables. So even knowing the entire list is a very challenging task. Okay. Has it shown any real benefits? We have not seen any independent studies which have clearly illustrated any benefits of MRU in a sort of a field level experiment, especially with mixed clients and so on, let alone Wi-Fi 7 clients. What does Wi-Fi 8 think about in terms of advancing the OFDMA story? So Wi-Fi 8 noticed that 6 gigahertz in some countries, like in the US, had a challenge that the clients were PSD limited in some LPI deployments to certain PSD, which gave them only limited power in uplink OFDMA transmissions. There are cases in 2.4 gigahertz as well, but these are nowhere near as severe as in the 6 gigahertz. So I think this distributed RU feature is probably more likely to be used in the 6 gigahertz LPI PSD regulation based areas or countries. Okay, what does it exactly do? Remember, the original RUs were contiguous. So 26 means 26 contiguous subcarriers were grouped into RU. Now DRU says, if you have 26, let me distribute them as the reds are distributed here, or the greens here, or the blues here. This was actually originally proposed in a WiMAX standard way back in 2005, etc. Now, what does it help with? As you can see in an example, if I just take a 52 tone case, which is about 4 megahertz, but distribute the allocation over 80 megahertz, look at the power boost that I can get in a 6 gigahertz LPI based usage scenario, as in the US, right? This definitely is the target, that uplink OFDMA coverage and the related benefits of better rates, MCS, etc. Okay. So a quantitative view of this is, if you take the smallest size stone, look at the boost even by putting it over 20 megahertz, and then of course the maximum of 80 megahertz. As you can see, there are limits to the boosting. And remember that this is only allowed in uplink OFDMA transmissions. Okay. How will it sit with, for example, other enhancements? Remember that HE OFDMA, EHT OFDMA, and UHR OFDMA are different. So you really cannot take the highest generation OFDMA and allocate it to the different generations behind you. So these are real life challenges that we will see as we get closer to deployment. But these are tools available. Someday we will probably find them beneficial in some scenarios, and I hope that we get to see some of this used for enhancing the performance of Wi-Fi. Thanks for watching. As I said, please take a look at our website. We also offer courses through Wi-Fi Now Academy, and I hope to expand on this in Wi-Fi Now and Wi-Fi KS kind of events. Thank you.